What up, people? What's good? Salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. Reserved for the best. It's super dope. I do sell comics. Check me out on Instagram at @6th_element_comic. Yeah, because comic books are the sixth element of hip hop.
Peace. What's good, everybody? Welcome the crew that comes in with the notifications. That's called the notification crew.
Yes, it is.
One down. Yeah, man. Sixth element of hip hop. I'm your host, Reno Noir, and this is your co-host, Stu Dog. Stu, what's good with you? How's it going today, man? How you doing?
It's been it's been a long day, and I say long. It's been
Yeah.
real long. Man. Somebody we had on the show a few months ago, Jamaliquin Edwards, passed away yesterday.
Come on, man.
Yeah. So he's a childhood friend of mine. Man, I've known him all my life, and I want to give my condolences to him and his family. Um, and just let everybody know that he had a battle with cancer, and he didn't. Um, it just didn't turn out well. So uh, we'll miss him. He was a hardcore comic fan, toy collector, just like the rest of us. And
Real joy.
yeah,
Real.
so we'll miss him. And a hardcore GI Joe, GI Joe fan, just like the rest of us. So we'll miss him. And we'll all see him. We'll all see him again one day.
I wish you had told me, man, before the show started.
It's all good.
Wow.
Anyway.
Nah, I gotta take a minute to. I can't even believe that right now. Like, I. Oh man. Well, yeah. I'm just gonna say sorry, man. I mean, we would have did. We got to do. We're gonna have to do a whole GI Joe show in his honor, man.
Yeah. Definitely gonna hook that up. Yeah, definitely first chance we get. Um,
Can't believe it,
Because
man. That was
he definitely was a Joe fan. But
man. Well, I'm real sorry for your loss, bro. I know that was your childhood homie right there, man. That's can't imagine. Oh man. Well, at the same time, today we're mourning the loss of a great friend. We're also celebrating the birth of one of the greatest MCs ever to touch a mic. Rakim Allah was born January 29th, back in 1968, of course. But yeah, he celebrated his birthday yesterday, so we're gonna celebrate it today. It's just like fuck right now, dude. Like, goddamn. Like, I don't even want to talk about shit right now. I can't even believe this right now. Like, fuck. I don't know why it's hitting me so hard like that, but that shit is hitting me hard, bro.
man, it's like it would be different. Like if it's somebody we don't really know, what I mean, we we move on. But when it's somebody somebody it's a little more personal, man. You know.
Yeah.
And remember we had him on the show that one time. We was just kicking it. You know?
Yeah.
And so he was supposed to come back on and do a GI Joe special with us.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he just never got done. So.
Man.
But yeah, like you said, we gotta celebrate life. And I don't know what happens when you die, but I know one thing. Um, you know, we gotta we're here to celebrate life, and we'll get deeper into things around Jamalika later on. But right now, talking
All
about
right,
Rakim Allah. It's today's birthday.
all
Rakim
right.
Allah, the God. I remember the first time I ever heard Rakim. The first song I ever heard was Eric B for President.
Yeah,
Um, my cousin must have played it about a million times, and he thought it was the best thing he had ever heard. Like he literally was like, "Yo, like this is the best," and he just kept playing it, and kept playing it, and kept playing it.
yeah.
And what was the other singers he had on there? There
My
was two songs he chose. My
my
Melody,
melody.
yes.
Yeah.
Now back in the day, we still do it now, but not as much as we did then. When the song came out, you would hear people blasting in their jeeps and their cars. They'd be riding around,
Yeah.
and if it was a hot song, that's all you heard everywhere you went. You didn't hear nothing else. And I remember, hearing that, and I was just like, I was kind of blown away by it because, the way his rhyme style, I had never heard anybody rhyme like that before when he had came out. And he was a god. We was big in the 5% back then. So
Mhm.
yeah, so when he dropped, we were just like, man, like yo, Rakim Allah, Eric B. And then we were always puzzled about why the duo was called Eric B and Rakim because back then most
But the,
rap duos was yes the other way around. It's Rakim, it should have been Rakim and Eric B.
yeah.
But come to find out years and years later that um Eric B was the one with the record deal,
Hmm.
and he went and got Rakim
Hmm.
to be his MC, and the rest is history.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is from a time when in hip hop, when the DJ was the star and the MC was there basically to big up the DJ. That's
Yeah.
basically the job of the MC was to talk about how dope the DJ was. That's why they would literally hire an MC. That's why they would get a guy, come on, and you say shit on the mic, about me and how dope I am while I'm spinning these records. Do it in a
Yeah.
rhyming, fancy, rhythmic way. That's how it all started, man. But yeah,
Cause I
Rakim.
remember, yeah, cause I remember, it was like summertime when I first heard Rakim. I remember it was hot out. I know that, and it should have been about what 87. I think he dropped his first album. But I
87.
remember it was hot when I first heard Check Out My Melody. It was hot out. I know that. I know that for a fact. And it
Yeah,
was I wasn't we weren't in school because I mean we just bumped it. My one cousin, man, shout out to my cousin Smoke. He just bumped it and bumped it and bumped it and bumped it and bumped it, and it was just like damn. And then when the album finally came out, he played it. He must have played it till the tape pop.
yeah,
But yeah, it was one of the hottest albums that came out that year, if not
yeah,
the hottest. Yeah.
yeah. Now, when I first got into Rakim, it was much later because I was probably in third grade in '87, right? So I was in fourth grade in '88, fifth grade in '89. Sixth grade was '90, so that was probably Let the Rhythm Hit Him when that came out. But he had already did Follow the Leader, and the original Paid in Full and all that, which, obviously I heard it all, but probably a year or two after it came out. But Rakim just, yeah, he basically changed the way we looked at rhyme schemes and rhyme patterns. He's definitely a rapper who is regarded as one of the greatest, most influential MCs the world has ever seen. He's in my top five of MCs that I would send to another planet to battle the dopest MCs of the universe. He would be on that list, along with Cool G Rap, KRS One, uh, Nas, and I don't even know. But Rakim is just one of those solids that can never leave that list. You know what I'm saying? And yes, he was originally one half of the group, the hip hop group at the time, Eric B and Rakim, or whose complex lyricism with rock with Eric B's beats and shit was yeah, it boosted hip hop, to a new level. Uh,
It did. It really did. Cause you got to remember Eric B and Marley Marl was real cool. Like, and a lot of people don't know that. You know what I mean? I think they was like roommates or something like that at one point.
yeah, they
And that's where I know for a fact that's where they recorded Eric B as president because I had watched an interview with Marley Marl one time and he was talking how, he was just going over his beat making process and he was saying like if I make a beat, he said like when he was in the project, he would put his speakers in the window and he would start making his beats. And he said if he didn't see people bobbing their heads and dancing to the beat, he knew the beat was trash. So he would start all over. And you know, Rakim, a lot of people in New York that rhyme back then, we didn't have social media, but they knew about each other or heard about each other. Or somebody be like, yo, it's a kid up in such and such. I heard he nice. And people would go up there and see who would, go find him, things like that. But Eric B also worked for WBLS, which is something else I forgot too, man. So um that's where he really kind of got his start. So he kind of had a foot in the door and going to get Rakim just solidified his music career and then blew them both up. And then, like I said, Norm Marley Marl dropping Eric B as president, that really that we bumped that for they bumped that for a long time. I'm like, I was young. I wasn't old enough to really party to it and not like that. But I was, I heard it, I knew what it was. I didn't have an appreciation for it then because that's kind of like on the edge of my era because I'm more like on the 90s. I'm more like 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 Nas, Wu Tang, and all that. But all of them, like Eric B, Marley Marl, and all them, I still rocked out to all that. It was just that my time came when I became a teenager, was in the '90s, and that's when I started rocking out the De La Soul and all that. But Rakim is is someone that has a very unique rhyme style, and that left an impression on me as far as hip hop is concerned. Um, and I'm never going to, I can never play that down under, in any circumstance. They don't make MCs like that anymore, you
right.
know. Yeah, and we
Have you
respect brothers' music.
you got to read his book, Sweat the Technique.
Hmm.
That shit right there was like a real eye opener. He says he asked the question like, how do I get someone to stop a record, rewind, replay, and rethink everything they thought they heard the first time? And Rakim fans, reading this question in early on in the book, on a creativity tip, will recognize the experience. And I think throughout his catalog, his music, at any moment, on any track, on any bar, on any verse, Rakim is known to drop a confidently delivered lyrical jewel. It's going to be a gem, something deep, maybe abstract, subtle, nuanced, but its meaning or the lesson might end up hitting you a bar or two later, or an hour or two later. He said, "I wanted to make people think about the rhymes." He writes, Uh, I wanted to. No, he said, "I wanted them to have to rewind my lyrics." So basically, he wanted you to hear the music and be like, "Oh shit," and have to run that shit back. That he wrote for that purpose, and the way he describes how he literally formulated his flows, like he would talk about how he wrote the rhyme, and where he would put a dot on the paper to catch his place, and it's really dope how he breaks it down for a writer, for somebody that's a writer in hip hop. It's invaluable. I mean, it's you have to read it. It's definitely a look inside his mind. A true lyrical genius. You know what I'm saying? It goes back.
Exactly.
It doesn't talk about his rhyme technique either. It does also talk about his life. He came from a musical family. Everybody in his house was musically inclined. He grew up playing the saxophone and the drums, and just everybody played music instruments and shit like that. And he says, I mean, he basically reveals memories, of his parents, his friends, his siblings and shit. And he goes in depth on his childhood, his choices, he actually had to choose between football, a football career, and hip hop. So he was like on the verge of going to college for football, and then the interactions with like Marley Marl and all these different hip hop legends and icons, and he just talks about producing with Marley Marl and challenges with that and hanging out, what I'm saying, and with Jam Master Jay and just all types of to good shit. I mean, he talks about recording Follow the Leader, which is one of my favorite joints. Actually shut down the entire studio. He said we blew a circuit, too much power. He said, I mean, more than just a biography. It's like a guide to hip hop. It's a guide to writing rhymes. It's just a guide to his life and just hip hop, the evolution, all of that. And basically, the book is separated into 5 sections. And Rakim refers to as his 5 pillars of creativity, right? Purpose, inspiration, spirituality, consciousness, and energy. And then he says, "This is how I do it." And revealing diversity of artistic influences. He drops names and shit, talking about like uh, Dr. King, James Brown, Muhammad Ali, Moses, Steven Spielberg, like Mozart, bro, Francis Ford Coppola, fucking Shakespeare, you name it, like he jazz. Um, because jazz definitely played a big role in not just his music, but his identity. Like he's as a lover of jazz, he you know gives us sort of like his thoughts on like guys like Dizzy Gillespie, Thelonious Monk, Miles
Yeah,
Davis,
yeah.
John Coltrane.
Cause in his music, especially that Follow Leader album, it's a lot of jazz influence in that, man. Like
Hmm.
you can hear it. You can hear it in the album. Cause when he recorded his first album, I never realized until, back then, I just we wasn't talking to her, but when they recorded their first album, they were on Def Jam.
Right.
And I watched an interview where Eric B was talking about it, and he was saying how like when they first started recording that first album, Rakim wrote his rhymes for the album in like an hour. So it took him like an hour to write. Because there's on that first album, there's only a few songs where he's on it. The rest is Eric B cutting and scratching. And
Hmm.
so he said that Rakim wrote those rhymes in an hour, and when they recorded the songs, he had the paper that he wrote the rhymes on and was reading it as he was recording it. So he never had none of it memorized when he recorded the album. He just did it off the fly, off the paper that
Yeah.
he had wrote like an hour before. And he was saying that they did that they worked on it for like 2 days and they completed the album in like a week or something like that. So they did a whole album in like a week. But Eric B was saying like they was working in like 48-hour shifts. Like they would go into the studio and just knock it out.
Yeah.
And that was one of and like I said, but Rakim, he said that when Rakim is quoted as saying that when he hears that album, he just envisions himself reading off of the paper and
Right.
saying the rhymes. Cause he said, Eric B said Rakim is like a perfectionist, but he's like a big critic of himself. So he like when he hears, other people rhymes, he like picks it apart. But he does it to himself even more than he does it to anybody else.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. Because he in the book he talks about uh how rappers like Jay-Z and Biggie um really blow his mind, because he said they can actually write a rhyme in their head without writing it down, which as a
Yeah,
writer,
yeah,
no idea how fucking insane that is. You have to be you have to have some special mental capacity that most people don't have. You can't just remember a rhyme like that. and the way he was like, yeah, he said I could never do it. He said he said I don't. He said for me, like when I freestyle, if I go off the top or if I'm thinking of something to write or I'm writing, it's coming out, as it's coming out. If I don't write it down, I'll never remember what the fuck I thought of. And that's
Yeah.
99.9999% of MCs. There's like two guys, Biggie and Jay-Z, that have proven to been able to do that. And so that's the crazy shit. But yeah, he talks about that in the book.
Peace, fellas. Peace.
Please, what's good?
Chilling, chilling. Peace to the God MC's born day, of course.
Word.
Yeah, Rakim, man. Phenomenal, phenomenal dude. I mean, he influenced 85% of hip hop. You know what I mean?
Easily.
And as far as Jay-Z and Biggie writing their rhymes out of their head, yeah, if you can punch in, because that's a technique we use in the studio where you punch in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But everybody has to start from the pen. I mean, you know what I mean? These guys, yeah, maybe later on they developed a technique where they can freestyle off the dome quite fluently. But of course, everybody writes. Everybody got a rhyme book somewhere.
Listen. The
They
way I
start
do it.
as a rhyming out their head. No one does that.
Nobody believes it. But it's been a lot of people who have sworn that they've witnessed it, and I've seen it. So I mean, listen.
I mean, it's different when you're freestyling off the dome.
It's different when you're freestyling off the dome because you're saying it out loud and potentially recording it or punching in or whatever. But if you're in your head listening to the beat going, and you're writing a rhyme, you're okay. And I remember, okay, what I say, and you can just remember doing that in your head, bro. It takes a certain type of motherfucker. Everyone can't do it.
Yeah.
No.
Roxanne Shante said she recorded the song Roxanne in one take.
Yeah.
Knocked it out. And while she was washing clothes, she said she went up to Molly's apartment, recorded the song, and then went back downstairs and finished washing clothes.
Recording a song, that's nothing. That's you can go if you reading off a piece of paper, if you spit it right and you don't fuck up no time, there you go. That's your one take record.
Yeah.
But she's another one that says she never really wrote rhymes down like that. She's another one that says
I believe, but
she did a lot of freestyling. She said she did a lot of freestyling.
Yeah. Back then the rhymes were real simple. They could remember. They could have a bunch of like, what they call ammunition, like bars and lines and shit memorized that they could spit at a given, during a freestyle, during a battle or whatever.
Because all you need is a start, middle, and the end. You know what I'm saying? And then you can fill the in betweens with a lot of braggadocio nuance. But once you start off your rhyme with a full impact, that's why I like Inspector Deck. Inspector Deck, to me, he's like a real MC too, because he comes with that smash.
Comically.
Yeah, and then he can keep you. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing with Rakim. He can keep your mind going. He can keep you there. You know what I'm saying? Like his last bar is dope, but his next bar is doper, and then it's doper. It gets doper, and it's like, I gotta rewind it back because the whole track was ill. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I mean?
That's how you write. He said, I want you to have to rewind the shit.
Yeah, I mean, there's only and honestly, me and my brother was talking about this earlier today. There's only two people, to me, in my opinion, that can really keep you in the rhyme and say stuff and want to rewind them back all the time. I mean, from that era was Kane and Rakim, the two giants in my book.
I would say rap
and have something to say within the rhyme.
Yeah. I would put G-Rap in there.
G-Rap was dope, but you know what I mean, G-Rap, he's gangster with it, and he has some cool stuff, but
gangster with it, but the way he flips it lyrically is crazy.
And but as far as that factor of like, yo, he's really saying something. You gotta really, yeah, Rakim is the pinnacle. Because you gotta think he said that bar, and it has 7 different meanings to that one bar.
Even Kane, I would say, don't do what Rakim does in that regard. You know what I'm saying? Like even Kane is a little more maybe about the ladies or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like Rakim gonna really go to somewhere in the atmosphere in the universe and go to outer space and shit.
He did that. He with the ladies with mahogany. He broke that down.
Yeah.
He a whole lot of stuff. I'm like, yo, this dude is just like, he influenced me to rhyme. It was only a few dudes who influenced me to really say, yo, I wanted to rhyme. I wanted to be that. I wanted to be an MC in my own way. You know what I'm saying? And it was Rakim. Then it was also Grandmaster Caz. You know what I'm saying? Grandmaster Caz is another one. Grandmaster Caz is the truth.
Yeah, Cass is one of the OGs of the game. One of the old OGs of the
Never
game.
got bars. Even now, Caz got bars.
More was good, man.
Caz now and won a battle. He got bars for your ass.
What's going on, bro?
Peace.
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 You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's true. I mean, like, Rakim is that dude. You know what I mean?
Shit, whatever y'all talking about, y'all look into it.
And now we just talking about Rakim because his birthday.
God.
Yeah, we just did a little tribute. You know, everybody's just talking about their experiences with Rakim and all of that.
I went to a show, and me and my brother went to a show and seen him. Yo, that's who he is. Like, he's that mellow dude. Like,
You're humble as fuck too, from what I've heard.
Yeah,
chilling.
So I got a story for you.
Yeah.
So like y'all probably know this too. You hip hop, you know what I mean, heads. But I heard like when the Roots came out, and I think it was more around like their second album, the one with like Erykah Badu and "Never Don't Worry About When."
Well,
I've been a who I saw. Yeah.
Fall Apart. Yeah.
Yes, that album.
Yeah.
So that's actually one of my favorite ones too. And I think it was on that album that Rakim saw Black Thought and was like, yo, like he dapped him up and like blessed him and told him that, that was like, a real album. And Black Thought afterwards was like, did I just get blessed off by Rakim? Like, and the way you said by him being like cool and smooth, I think that was the way he came at Black Thought too, which made him even more like, this man already got out. He got a live band playing. Like, he wants some other stuff, and then he got the God telling him just a DJ in the mic, you know what I mean? With the straight lyricist telling him that, man, your material, bro, it's like, I'm feeling it. Thank you.
Bro, people don't understand. Listen, Rakim,
that's humble, bro.
One MC that I don't care who you are. There's no rapper if Rakim, walked up to you and gave you any bit of fucking props, bro, you would be fucking, that would be,
bro, I'm gonna start crying.
That would be the best shit of your life. Like, Rakim is the fucking goat. Out of all the goats, there's many goats. Rakim is the one that there's nobody who's like, yeah, I'm not really feeling him. I swear to God, like, there's nobody, bro. There's nobody. Rakim is the only God that anybody fucks with. And that's what they said.
Perfectionist. Like, yo, he's a perfectionist.
He got that pass, right? You're right, Reno. He got that pass like that. It's crazy.
Like, yeah, like over anybody, above all. I mean,
and he wasn't an MC that jumped on everybody's track. He was very selective on who he rocked with. He was very selective.
No, that's very true.
Yo. And if
like, he ain't even like, hold on. Was Rakim even on the Woo shit?
Nah.
There's certain MCs he's on, but like
he was with Mob D. He
Yeah.
on the track with Mob D.
come on, man, you got that's
Yeah.
Prodigy. You have to. I
Rest
miss that brother.
in Prodigy.
I miss
Yeah, I
that
do
brother.
miss Prodigy. Yeah, I miss P.
I
I
really
ain't gonna lie, I
miss that.
miss P.
Yeah,
I do
man,
miss
that
P.
like
I ain't gonna lie, man. I
that
could
messed me
say
up,
one
bro.
thing about
So like,
Mob
you know,
Deep.
we grew up with him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Stu. Go ahead,
Mob
Stu. What
Deep.
you about to say?
One thing I can say about Mob Deep, man, there was some shit talking.
Yeah, they was.
Stuff
They
like
was.
it's just
It was some
like
shit
they
talking.
was master
Yeah.
Havoc and Prodigy is master shit talkers, man. I don't care what nobody say. Like the shit they come out with, man. They would say, like, remember when P was like, he was like, P drink white label. No, he said, oh, what did he say? He said,
He says my
my
chain
chain,
piece
my
bang glass
hang
table.
down. Yeah, yeah. He
Hang.
said I
That,
drink
like you
white
got the
label
long
something.
chain joint
My
on.
chain hang down to my dick. My piece bang glass tables. Diamonds
Yeah.
and guns before the fame. Yo, listen, they was hard, man, and they came out young too. They was like what 13 when they came out or something like that.
Juvenile Hell.
They recorded Juvenile
Man,
Hell. Yeah, that shit
the
was hard,
crazy
bro.
shit is that my man Prodigy, the things that he was professing when he started doing a lot of the single joints, you know, which is probably like more of a political reason why he had to even do that.
Yeah.
But like in some of those single joints, things and things that he was saying in there, man, like was it Hegelian
I know exactly where
dialect?
you going with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
yo,
I think that album is the one
was
that
real hard to find for a long time.
that it was. It was. They
Yeah,
like
you
took
couldn't
it
find
off
that joint. You couldn't
Apple
find that
Music,
joint.
right? Still,
But check it out,
Yeah,
though.
you couldn't find that album nowhere.
Guess who
You couldn't find it
influenced
nowhere.
that
that's the
mind
album I think that got him killed.
that mind state that influenced him though to speak on things. Rakim.
Rakim.
Rod was dropping
I believe it.
mathematics.
Yeah, he was dropping.
Yeah.
He was 5%.
Rhymes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then and then P would start looking into Illuminati and all of that, and you
But
heard it.
But check it out. Also, where did Ross really record all his shit? Queensbridge.
He recorded it. He actually recorded it this.
At Marley Marr's house.
Well, actually, he did that first album, the Eric B shit there, but he did this.
That's what I mean. But I'm
He
saying
had this white guy's house, this white man's house that is on like Long Island, and he records in his basement. And he came there and he showed how he was like, this is where I only record like
You
this.
talking about Alchemist?
Huh? I'm talking about Rakim.
About that first that Paid in Full album. That's what I'm talking about. So
yeah, first album with Eric B, he did at Marley Marl's.
Yeah, so I'm going from that point to where like there's certain energies within that Queensbridge that's kind of wild, man. You got Nas, the next one that was influenced by Rock.
I think they're more networked. Like they're more willing to like stick with each other though. Like in Brooklyn, I mean Brooklyn's just Brooklyn, but Queensbridge, them jokers, they have like a network, man. They stick together.
You know, then you had Tragedy Gaddafi. You have a
Tragedy Gaddafi.
Yeah, you have a whole slew of dudes over there influenced by the
Intelligent Hoodlum.
Yeah.
Yeah, Intelligent Hoodlum. So it's like you think about it, you're like, oh snap. So this is where they get their courage and how they flow. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to have some type of bravado. You have to have that, that assuredness on how you flow. And Ra, whenever you step on a microphone and stage and what have you, you can see the energy like, I got this.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody questions it. And when he speaks, everybody's listening. They're going to bop their head. They're going to be like, but they're going to listen like, I got to find, what's the puzzle? What's the, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Trying to unlock.
Nature.
He's study albums, bro. He's
reading about the Blaze that Raw.
And Mobb Deep. that Wu-Tang and Rakim and shit, literally like turned down the shit and studying the fucking lyrics, bro.
Mhm.
Trying to fill the lines in and fill in between the lines, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's so much shit was taught during the 90s, bro. That era is gone, man.
90s. Well, I mean, yeah, like it's safe to say. I think I've talked with most of you over here at least on one occasion before. Stu, I got to talk to you, and then what I didn't know, Reno filled me up on, and I didn't realize we have a lot in common, brother. But anyway, just like that, man. Like when I look at groups at Mob Deep, right? Like so, him and Havoc, they went to their School of Arts kind of program, and you know what I mean, in the borough they were going through, whatever, you know. But even let's just take the whole scenario, right? And let's just say that they were just talented. They're rhyming and doing a bunch of things that they don't know anything about. Okay. But the way that it plays out, like I watched the thing about Prodigy. They went into his whole government name and everything, and even went to the ballerina pictures of that Jay-Z had and all that other stuff. But the bottom line is, even if this cat was somebody that was just supposed to be a stage figure, at the end of the day, there seemed to have been some decision that was made in that time of knowing what was what, and this is where I'm getting off. Like, you can't have this part of my soul. You're gonna have to fight for this. I'm just not giving it to you. And Prodigy started to, we'll say, with the things that he was rhyming about, he started to come in more in fruition with it, getting away from the powers that be that wanted him just to play a role. That's what I was. That's the thing I watched that one time on YouTube or whatever. And the way they presented, I'm not gonna lie, it sounded like it had a lot of validity to it, a lot of truth to it. And I guess what I'm saying is, even with that and everything that I've heard about the group, to still lay it down the way that they did, and even at the end to be like, I'm defying these odds. I was 18, 19 years old, or my bad, maybe 16, 17. What was it, Juvenile Hell, when they made that like real first album?
Mm-hmm.
And then so like, and now I think Prodigy had came to a place where he was like, this is me. Whether it's supposed to be a role playing me or me now in general, this is me. And I just think the way that he went out was just like, it was on some G shit, man. I think there's a super underlining story that has to be told about him that's not being told or whatever. I just, man, my feelings are coming out, man. I miss the God, man. I miss Prodigy, man. Like that brother, like, I mean, he like really had like no fear. Even if he was supposed to be a studio gangster, he had no fear.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got to be fearless in the game, man. You can't
Yeah, you
be.
talking about these motherfuckers running up kids and shit, using the energy of kids doing sacrifices and shit. Like,
Yeah,
this
he was
was on
on.
some other stuff.
Yeah. Well, Rakim said he said everything was organic for me at the time when Eric B and him did what they did. He said he said I was 17. He said I was so young it took me a while to figure out how I wanted to approach hip hop and let the people know how I wanted to get down. Because remember,
17, B.
he had a real laid back, just relaxed flow, and he would just, do his rhyme real kind of laid. I mean, you know how his flow is. At the time, hip hop cats were yelling basically on the mic and spitting, hard, and when he laid down,
rhyming real fast. Everybody wanted to rhyme
Yeah,
fast.
that fast shit.
Yeah.
so when he laid down, follow the leader, or the follow the leader, he spit the rhyme from Marley Marl, and Marley was like, he went over and talked to Eric B. He was like, "Yo, what's up with your man? Like your man just like he just sitting there all like no energy. He's just like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, that's how he is. Like I tried to talk to him. He's like, this is how he is. So Marley goes to Rye. He's like, hey, why don't you try the next one? Stand up because he's sitting down while he's spinning. He's like, why don't you stand up and like get into it? And Rakim was like, nah, man, this is how I do it. Like I'm not about to change. Even for Marley Marl, the great Marley Marl, you know what I'm saying? This is a kid, he's 17. But it shows you, like, you know, he knew who he was at a young age. He knew what he wanted to do. He knew how he wanted to come and be perceived. He knew what his image was that he wanted. And, you know what I'm saying? He had that shit at an early age. And he ends
back in the day, man.
He ended up doing 4 albums with Eric B. and Rakim before their partnership, you know, dissolved amid, you know, a business disagreement in 1992. And he does get into that in this interview. He said after a brief hiatus, he, you know, then goes on his solo career in 97 that gave us the 3 jewels, the 18th letter, the master, and the 7th seal. 18th letter is one of my favorites. But Eric B. and Rakim did reunite this year for a series of live dates. But Rakim has not released an album of new material in about 10 years. But his influence on hip hop, you know, definitely you know, permeates to this day. I mean, you know, even in the new shit. But he did this interview, and let me see if I can read it to y'all real quick. He said on what happened with him and Eric B, he said, I can't beat around the bush because it would sound stupid. We had 3 more albums left on the contract, and Eric B came up with an idea. He said, if he do a solo joint, I do a solo joint, then we get together and do the last joint. Then our contracts would be up, and we would negotiate new contracts. Meanwhile, when he'd do the solo joint, he'd take all the money for that. When I do my solo joint, I take all the money for that, get back together the new album, new deal. And, you know, it was money signs. Long story short, Eric B did his, I signed off, and when it was time for me to do mine, he didn't want to sign off. So that caused a lot of problems. He didn't want to sign off. He basically wanted to be like, I'm getting all the money for mine, and I want some of the money for yours, because he's the producer. But they agreed not to do it that way, and that caused them to break up. He said, again, man, it was business. He felt if he would, you know, have signed for some reason, I wasn't going to sign back to the last album. He felt I was going to cut him out for some reason. That was the misunderstanding. I ain't gonna front, man, bitter taste in my mouth for a long time. But like I said, I finally matured on that situation and realized it was bigger than us. So we're here right now.
Wait, who are we talking about now? I kind of got lost. And
that's
talking a lot of history.
Talking about him breaking up with Eric B, why they broke up.
Okay, got you.
Now, is from what you just said from the interview, so is it Eric B without Rakim on the solo album? Or is it Eric B and Rakim, but it's under Eric B?
So they had a 3 album. They were supposed to do 1 album, just Eric B by himself. Okay, 1 album, just Rakim by himself. And I don't know
who's ever gonna let Eric B control this shit ever again.
I don't know who was supposed to do the beats on the Rakim solo album. I guess not Eric B. So whatever. But
so because when I'm thinking, when I hear that, and when he said why Eric B wouldn't sign off on it, maybe because he's seen his sales not too great from his album, and he knew Ra would have the sales automatically, and he's like, yeah, I need the piece of that since my shit ain't popping. I need money.
I don't know, man. These dudes know each other since like the 80s. You know, I think that we kind of know each other's business schemes and what they want to do, even with the breakups in between. When Ra did his own solo albums, you think by all that they would understand each other's business?
Well, I don't know. I just don't understand why Eric B would propose this idea. You know, you're not going to sell as many as Rakim. You know, you're not as popular as Rakim. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not the draw anymore. You might have been the draw
That's
in
what I'm saying, though. You know.
out doing your thing, but now you're not. And so
Yeah.
why would you come up with the idea to do this solo album and then do it like where I'm just gonna get the money for mine, you just get the money for yours. You know you're gonna end up pissed off. I don't understand why he would have fucking even proposed that deal unless he really thought that he had the clout or he could outsell him or he was more popular or he had a big enough.
Why he probably thought that? Because you gotta think, like, you know, if I put into perspective, back in the '80s when they first made Paid in Full, you know, Eric B, DJ, you know what I'm saying? I think he also did the beats and shit like that, right? So, especially back in that time, a person that makes the beats is a person that's gonna have control. Because if you're making the beats, that's production, and if you're making production, you understand the money and everything else that comes into that. So I think Eric B at the time was on. He had more knowledge of the entrepreneurship of hip hop with the beats and everything. And when Rakim started coming into fruition and started seeing that he's writing these masterpieces and shit, and the person that is the quote unquote producer is probably making more than majority of his lyrics. I think that's when he started to come into fruition of his own. And so now, you know, you talked about Eric B. I think Eric B is still thinking on that mind frame, like, I know what to do. I know about production. I know about engineering. I know about beats, about all that stuff. I am going to make more money because I understand how to work the machine. I understand the machine of hip hop. The machine of hip hop is going to make me money, you know. And I think that's where Eric B was going with that.
Boy, was he wrong.
Other. I just got to get this one thing out. Other, you know, I think Eric B was saying that with the thought of sleeping on Rakim, because all these years and everything, he's gonna learn how to do something. But the guy's so cool, the guy's so laid back, the guy sit down when he do his rhymes. Somebody gotta tell him to stand up. I think his mindset is so, like, he's kept it.
Well,
That I think which will allow Eric B to still think that he has an upper edge on it. I'm done.
I think with Rakim, the thing with Eric B and Rakim, Eric B was an industry guy as well. Remember, this goes to your point as
Yeah,
well.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
He was an industry guy where Rakim,
yeah.
the artist. You know what I'm saying? So with that artist mindset, you don't want to be bogged down with the business, but his family has a history of being in the industry as well. This is Rakim's family. So he full well knows what's going down.
Prodigy.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like he knows, but he it's just like he when you go in as a group, you want everybody to eat as a group. If you're in your group, you're like, yo, this is my man.
Yeah, of
We
course.
came
Yeah,
in together.
You want your
Let's
crew to
all.
eat. I got you.
But when one person in the group jumps out of line with what we had planned, like, yo, what the, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing here? You said this was the deal. You got to stand on your word. Word is bond. Period. You know what I'm saying? And if your word ain't bond, then I got a problem with that. And being that Rob, you know what I'm saying, 5% nation, mathematic, gods and earths, your word is your bond.
Ice to God.
You know what I'm saying? So when you cross that line of not being on your word, there's an issue that comes up now that got to be remedied. And if it can't be remedied, I'd rather be over here. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
What do you
One
think?
was
Well,
dealing straight
listen,
on
man.
business.
When money gets involved, man, it changes everybody, and I don't care what nobody say. When people walk around and be talking that trash, oh, money ain't gonna never, money never change me, money don't never change me.
It has to
They
change everything.
just
That's just being,
they
yeah.
they they
Sorry.
just didn't make enough. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about it. Because once money get involved and then the money start getting bigger, look what EPMD got into a squabble over what, 15 grand? That should be like a drop in the
Wow.
bucket for them, and broke up for what, like a year. maybe 2 years,
No,
then
that
got
shit
back
hurt. I
together.
was mad as fuck when they
I don't
broke
think
up.
that was over. That was because I remember
It
Eric
was
saying
over. It was over 15. It was over
it
15
was over
grand.
something else. It was something else. A
Well,
robbery
that
at a
has
house.
something to
It was a
that too,
robbery
but
at the
it
house.
was a robbery. But it was the squabble was more like I think the straw that broke the camel back on that one was the because you got to remember Paris Smith was the manager, plus he was part of the group,
And a
the
producer.
producer, and so he was getting paid every way.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And then E had to pay him because he was the manager of the group. So you got to
Wait,
pay the
I thought
manager.
you. Oh, you put me onto something. I'm sorry, I did not mean to cut you off, but you just put me on something. I thought E was the person that was a manager and making the beats and all that.
Now E
No, they
made
both could
beats.
make beats.
They both can make beats, but
Yeah.
but Paris was the producer, the manager, also a part of the group. So he was getting paid
Really?
all the way around. Yeah, he was getting paid all the way around.
Yeah,
I
but
thought it was the other way. This whole time, I'm sorry. This whole time, I thought it was the other way around. This is why I'm like jumping in. Like what? All right, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna look it up later. I'm gonna shut up. Please finish, though.
Yeah, so they got into it. Like I said, when the money comes in, people say money don't change them. Like I said, they just didn't make enough because money changes everybody. I don't care what nobody tell you.
Ooh,
almost every rap group.
damn.
Even for Wu, it
It
was
didn't
money.
make enough money.
But they understood that because they're a bunch of cousins and their family members too involved. So it's like you can't be too mad at your family. You just got to sit down and work it out. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was with the Wu as well.
Riz's brother was a person that put him on.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, sometimes you gotta battle it out. If you're in a rap group and things are not clicking, you gotta have that sit down. Like, yo, we gotta get to some point where we can coexist. You know, if not for business, while we're hot or what have you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if we don't coexist, we both gonna lose. Do we want to be, you know what I'm saying, back where we was, or do
What
we
was the
want
name of Riz's brother?
Hmm?
He's a person that's
Ninth,
initially
ninth prince. Ninth prince.
responsible
Ninth
for.
prince.
That's Riz's younger brother, Ninth Prince.
No, the older
Ninth
brother,
prince.
the
You
older
talking
brother in the
about
beginning.
Divine.
Divine.
Yes, Divine did so much and never got paid for it. Divine is the person that got them on the map. Divine
got his money. Divine got money. Don't get it twisted.
yeah. I mean, the way he told it on what was it? Of Mike's and Men.
Divine is the one with the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the beginning, yeah, he was. You know what I'm saying?
Who's the brother? The light skinned one that was making everything happen for him in the beginning. Like they was smart. They was recording everything. And
You talking about Mook? But I don't want to get off on a tangent. But back to Rakim and blending it with comics, man, because Wu-Tang was on the what you call it, the Luke Cage show, like heavy, like Luke, like they bust Wu-Tang.
that part with Matt, right? I like that part.
Yeah, they was dropping Wu-Tang.
Protect your neck, right?
Yeah, so and Rakim, what he did a song called King's Paradise, produced by Adrian Young and Ali Shaheed Muhammad from Tribe, who are also on the show's music supervisors for Luke Cage, and hip hop and comics always makes that connection. But it's not the first time that Rakim did music, or his music found its way into the Marvel series. The classic joint "I Ain't No Joke" with Eric B was used in the season 2 trailer. So they was all permeated through what you call it with Luke Cage, Wu-Tang, and Rakim.
Yeah, the gods, man. I mean, and
Yeah.
but we also got to talk about that too, the nation of the gods and earths, and how it pertains to Rakim when he came into the game with that knowledge, and that's like his foundation to why he put things into perspective with the rhymes.
He was one of the first. Yeah, he was one of the first giving us that knowledge through hip hop. He was one of the first guys to do that, and obviously it sort of exploded after that with, guys, through AZ and Nas and Wu-Tang and everybody else stuff. And then everybody was doing it. But when Ra was doing it, Kane wasn't really spitting that knowledge, and G-Rap and Kara, the other guys that was around at the time.
That were God by at the time. No, they didn't.
Well,
Rakim was
no,
the first
what
person.
Kane was.
Let's wait till people are done talking before we start talking.
Sorry, bro.
No, you're good, bro. Go ahead.
Kane was he had knowledge himself as well.
Yeah, he did.
A lot of MCs.
But he wasn't really doing songs about it. That's what I'm saying. Rakim was the one that really started doing songs about it. But yeah, everybody was 5% at the time, but nobody was saying it. At first. So he was one of the guys. I'm not saying he was the first guy to spit it on the mic. Definitely wasn't. But he's one of the guys that really opened the door and really made it a popular thing where he was permeating like a lot of his songs and shit, like making it known and shit, wearing the 7-star and all of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. But yeah, man. Speaking of comics, we are going to get to the second topic of the show. I know some people are waiting for that. The Avengers Twilight. We will get there.
King's Son. Yes.
Yeah, King's Son.
Everybody used to confuse King's Son with Rakim at some point because of the octave, the way he rhymed and stuff like they had the same type of.
It's funny when Will Smith dropped Summertime. Hella people thought it was Rakim. Rakim thought it was Rakim. Yeah, why?
Yeah. He's like, did I write that?
Yeah, he's like, was that my shit? Like that's some biting shit. That's a real biter right there.
Wise intelligent.
Yeah. Wise intelligent is definitely
intelligent. Yeah.
Poor righteous teachers, baby.
Shout out to poor righteous teachers. Where he's born. Shout out to poor righteous teachers.
I love it now. See, I be rocking.
That's where, it definitely got to that point, man.
Yeah, they were gods.
Based
you got to remember too. Like speaking of Will Smith, a lot of people don't give Will Smith his props for his contribution to hip hop and Jazzy Jeff. Like at one point, Will Smith, when it come to rhyming, Will Smith was that dude. Like he was that dude.
Yeah.
We make fun of parents just don't understand and all that.
Yeah.
But for somebody to go off the dome and just had a complex rhyme stuff, Will Smith was that dude.
Nah, really, really respect that Will Smith as a writer, as a rapper. Like I know a lot of fans, a lot of the fan base and shit.
I'm looking at y'all like really crazy right now.
Nah, bro, listen, man. A lot of because you're part of the fan base.
Will Smith was that dude. Yeah, I ain't no Will Smith fan. Yeah.
He's like the thing right now too, right? Like
like rappers, your favorite rapper would tell you that Will Smith deserves his props. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, and the fan base, we don't give it to him. He doesn't have the hip hop fan base. But rappers who know, yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah. I mean, Will go off the dome at any time. He's nice.
Yeah.
I know. Nice with it. Okay, maybe y'all explaining some things for me. Because I know there's what is it on Amazon Prime? It's something, was it Summer of '88? And I think Will Smith is the person that's he's the host of it. And '88, that was a whole self-destruction, kind of like staying together, all these hard ass MCs that were like flowing. And then there's a picture of Will Smith, chilling with him back, the summer '88, man. '88 was a powerful 88, 89 were powerful years for hip hop, man.
Oh yeah. Phenomenal years for hip hop. Some of the best.
Yeah. Rakim dropped his second album. I think he dropped Follow Leader at '88. That joint came out like '88. Keeping it a buck.
It was '88. I thought it was '89. '88. Follow the Leader.
'89. I think it was '88. But that was a hot album. That was a hot summer. I had to go to summer school.
Rakim was just rocking like
AC in that
that's how he had like them Gucci leather jackets and shit.
Yeah, they was
something
hard.
Like that.
It was hard. They got those from Dapper Dan. Those joints was hard.
Yeah, like
Uh,
yeah.
the MCM
Yeah,
jackets.
them MCM jackets. Yeah, they had the Gucci joints, the
Maybe
MCM
that's
joints.
what I'm
Them
talking
joints
about.
was
I
hard.
know some of them was like I
Yeah,
know something.
I rock one of them now. I don't care what nobody say. I rock one
Yeah,
of them right now if I
Yeah,
can
like
get
I
my
think
hands
he
on
had like a God body medallion that was just like it was all sewn, but it was like super pretty.
Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah.
I did an art piece with the Crimson Guard, the leaders, the twins, like
Oh,
the leader cover. Yeah,
nice.
so I'll show y'all. Shit, do I have one around here?
it.
I'll show y'all later on in a later broadcast. But
All right. Yeah,
it's,
yeah. 'Cause
I
your
should have wore
followers.
that today. It didn't even occur to me. You
My
know.
first ever profile pic for Sixth Element was the paid in full album cover, but Spider-Man and Deadpool instead of Eric B and Rakim with
Mm.
the Kango.
Yeah,
I did not even know that. That's dope.
Mhm.
that's
Bro, you gotta send me that.
Well, speaking of art, Andre 3000 has announced a tour in a flute. He's gonna be out there fluting it up on the stage. The new Blue Sun Live tour begins later this month and stretches into March. But he'll be joined by Carlos Nino, Nate Mercero, Surya Boda Safina, and D'Antoni Parks. I've never heard any of these people, and and I'm sure that's the whole point. And they'll all bring the new Blue Sun album to life. I suppose one guy will play the chime bell, and one guy will play the xylophone. Another guy will be on the flute. And basically, he made the album with these guys. But these are the guys like that he made the records with, and I guess they'll be playing it live. But the record opens with a 12-minute song called "I Swear I Really Wanted to Make a Rap Album, but this is literally the way this wind blew me this time." And it debuted at number 90 on the Billboard chart, so you can't even front. You can't even front. You can say what you want, but you cannot front. My man did his
No,
dizzle.
you can't.
I love you, wife.
Uh,
Sorry.
no, he's gonna be in
We
Brooklyn.
we understand.
Yeah, uh, grown ass over here. But yeah, Brooklyn. He'll be in New York. He'll be in Detroit, Chicago, San Francisco, Atlanta, and in Los Angeles.
Yo,
So
man,
let's.
some of the younger people don't man,
So
they
Reno,
feeling
is it
feeling
gonna
it
be?
too.
Is it what? So what kind of music is it gonna be? Like I don't know, like a type of jazz or like alternate funky type of hippie type thing.
What's the
Like
preamble?
what do we? Yeah, like what music wise? What are we talking about?
it's gonna be a bunch of
The album,
You said how are we opening up, bro?
the album New Blue Sun
What's
is
up?
yeah they're gonna play the album, right? So like they're gonna
Mm.
perform it basically. So it just played everything you heard on the album. They're just gonna perform
Oh
that shit live.
shit!
Oh, okay. Like now, is it? That's what I'm saying. Like, what kind of music is it going? Is it going to be like a
Look,
jazz
man.
flute, or is it going to be
The
like a
album.
hippie?
Have you heard
It's
the
going to be
album?
like
It's gonna
nah.
be.
I ain't-
You ain't heard the flute album yet?
I've never listened to the album either, but I do
nah.
think that
I
I need
listened
to
to
listen.
one song. I heard one song, and that was it. I didn't even. I ain't even try to.
You couldn't get past it.
I ain't-
You ain't even try.
It wasn't. I just heard the one song, and that's all I needed. I was good. I didn't need to dive into that. I didn't want to dive into that pool. And nothing against Andre and nothing like that, but it just I would like for me, I would
Andre's
have
not
to have a
spiritually
direction for
evolved,
the
man.
music.
He
Right. And
really
I
Yeah,
would
needs to
have to
be
have a
Miles
like a
Davis. Miles
yeah,
Davis, man.
like where is this music going? Are you just
He
playing the
doesn't
flute,
want an album.
walking
He
around
doesn't want the
barefooted?
album to be the same. I think he's
I,
trying to. I think it's like on kind of like the Miles Davis thing. Like he doesn't want any of his albums to sound the same. Like Andre, even though like he's doing his flute shit, and we're like, yo, what are you doing? And we're like laughing at it and everything. But on the real side of that, he's a real artist. He's like doing other shit, doesn't care. and he's to the point he's made so many albums and everything that he can do some crazy shit, and that album will still make money.
Imagine if Rakim, at the height of his fame, said, or near the Twilight note, and did a jazz album because he can play instruments. He can play the drums. He can play the piano. He can
You know
play
what?
the
No,
horn.
that would be, you know what? That'd be cool because I'm gonna tell you why. Because it would be music. It would be jazz. What Andre did was not jazz. He did ambient sounds, playing the flute with ambient sounds. That's not jazz. It's not like hyper
AKA hippie music. AKA hippie music.
meditation music. It was meditation music. It's not. Yeah, it's not jazz. Now, if he had made a jazz album, you would have had other instruments. There would have been some sort of a beat, something going on. But it was just ambient sounds. It was literally
He was on his
over the top of that. That's all it is. So you can't call that jazz, but yeah, if Rakim did a jazz. If Andre did a jazz album, that would have been dope. But listen, what Andre did was cool. I mean, we've already talked this shit to death. I don't want to go back into this again, but you know, he did the food album. Good. But yeah, he's doing it live now, so it's gonna be if you loved it, like you, hey, if you're one of these guys out here, because some of these hip hoppers are out here claiming that, oh, this is the second coming, oh, this is the new hip hop. So if that's you, man, you really believe this is the dope shit, then go see it live and sit there for however many hours and watch them sit on the stage and play the goddamn flute.
Y'all remember the movie Bamboozle, right? Y'all remember the movie Bamboozle? And you remember when my man had he was on stage with the damn what is that, the Australian horn or whatever that thing?
Oh yeah, didgeridoo.
That's what comes to mind to me.
Yeah, that's exactly what it.
You know what I'm saying?
I think right now, right? I'll give Andre the benefit of the doubt. Just this one little instance in which I'm about to say. I think that Andre will come into in an audience of masses of people, man. And I think he's going to take that flute. He's going to do other things with it, or he's going to evolve. I just find it hard to believe, even with this dude tripping, that he's going to sit there in front of masses of people and just sit there and play a motherfucking flute, bro.
Dog, he's going to perform the album. Have you heard the album? There's no. He's just going to do.
He's going to add a little bit in between. Like a little, like maybe like a little magic, like show, like shoot.
That's not fucking fair. This is not. No, Andre, no. You wanted to do the goddamn flute album. You sit on the stage.
Do the flute, but you got to do
the fucking flute. Like, don't be up here doing magic tricks and shit. That's another show. That's not part of the album. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You play the flute.
He said that ain't part album. I don't give a shit.
There. You sit there for 12 minutes and you play that same song.
Damn.
I'm just saying, man, but it's still a concert, bro. Okay, check it. I'm from Jersey, right? So when concerts come there,
it'll probably be like 10:30.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm not like you said something, bro. Like it's your show, bro. I'm trying to like.
No, go ahead.
All right. Man, I don't know. I just think like if he's doing a concert, like a concert's a concert, bro. You have to keep people engaged. So there's so many things that happens like in between sets with the pauses and everything else like that. I think that's a perfect opportunity for him to take the flute shit and just like maybe have a David Copperfield kind of like hip hop. God, there's something. A David Blaine hip hop. Like in between, like he just bow, bro. Like he David Blaine in it. Nah, y'all don't feel me? Like he could do that. I mean, it's Andre. He's already doing some crazy shit, right? So why not do a magic show in between sets?
I mean, yeah, you would have to captivate the crowd in some way because if I
would though, that's what I'm
$300 for a ticket to see a dude on the flute,
then that's what you do.
Mystical, magical shit happening Because if it ain't, I'm gonna have a problem.
Like,
Well,
I guess exactly what I'm saying too. He
then
has
that
to.
then that defeats the whole purpose of the album then, because that album is supposed to stand on its own too. It's supposed to be dope. Now you told me this was dope. You told me this was the shit. You told me you love this album. You told me this was the next thing in hip hop. You told me you were a fan of this album. So go there and sit on your chair and watch him sit in his chair and play that flute with the ambient sounds in the back. Don't expect no magic show, because that's extra shit. You said the album was dope. When I see a rapper, if I wanted to go see him play The Love Below, I wouldn't need no magic show because that music is dope. I don't need no magic, right? But if the album stands on its own, I'm not saying he can't do. I'm sure he will do a show and all that. It'll be great. It'll be great. I'm just fucking around. I'm being funny, but
No, but but you're real though. Like I get it. He said, I'm gonna hold you to the actual album, bro.
yeah, I mean,
David Copperfield, fuck your David
I just
only magic
I
shows in between. I get what you're saying.
I feel like some people were fronting. I was reading. I'm mostly talking about different posts and shit on Instagram from guys like Big Daddy Kane and like real MCs, and like I feel I heard a lot of fronting. That's what
I don't
feel.
think they were I thought they were saying. I thought they were saying just, yo, if that's what he want to do, let him do it. Let him,
No,
But they was
rap like this was the next thing in hip hop. Oh, he's on another level. He's ahead of his time. This shit is dope. Like I'm bumping this in the whip. I'm like, you wanting B? You're not.
I'm
bumping this in your whip.
Yo, I'm gonna make a statement. Did Rakim co-sign that?
I didn't hear that.
And then it ain't official, baby. If Rakim didn't say that was the album to listen to,
you know what I'm saying? I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember hearing anything from the God on that.
Because if the God is say, because you illustrated that, the God said that the Roots joint was tight, right? You said that molecular, right?
Yeah, he did.
But if he didn't say that to Andre about the flute,
I don't. Yeah, I didn't hear that story.
you know what I'm saying? So
I didn't hear no story about him and Jack Andre about the flute. No.
You know what I'm saying? So the God, you know what I mean? God remains silent on that.
Dog.
I'm surprised y'all never heard that, man. I promise you. Like, yeah, it was like Black Thought was just like, yo.
Oh no, I don't doubt what you say. I
God
don't
came
doubt
and,
that.
and like blessed me.
I'm quite sure.
Oh man, I love y'all, bro. I have to dip off of here, Reno. But
all right, broski.
Your faith, bro. I appreciate it, and I'll be back.
Oh yeah,
easy, bro.
Right. Be easy.
Peace.
Yeah, peace out.
Peace
out.
Sir.
Yeah, man. But
Well, with that, oh my bad.
Oh no, I was saying you were saying the next subject.
Yeah. Nah, yeah. With that, I was gonna go ahead and tell these people about the Avengers. Where is it? Avengers Twilight. I actually have it though. We'll talk about it. But yeah, it's the new Avengers shit. Some dystopian future. And since we on the New York tip, hip hop, Steve Rogers, Brooklyn native. Don't forget Captain America. I'm gonna tell y'all. Hold on. I got it right here. It's right here. Bing, 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 bing. Wait, is it over here? No, it's called Avengers Twilight because when they say Twilight, they're talking about like the age of the actual guys, like they're in their twilight years.
Yeah.
Like they're old, right? So it's like, I don't know, what the fuck is it? Oh, here it is. All right, there it is. So Avengers Twilight. Number 1. Number 2 is about to drop. We're going to talk about that in a second as well. But this is the book itself. Let me blow it up so you can see the cover. It's super dope. Old man Cap, basically. And the author right there is one of my the Trinity, right? Jonathan Hickman, Al Ewing. Yeah, and Chip Zdarsky.
Yeah.
Chip Zdarsky right here. And basically it is, Captain America's an old man. The super soldier serum has like sort of aged out of his body, right? Disappeared from his body. He's just an irregular guy. He lives on the memories of his past glories. And you have Luke Cage and Matt Murdock are sort of, still in the, involved in the problems of, today's society. And, obviously they're old as fuck and they can't do a lot, but they do what they can. Steve Rogers lives with Rose, who sort of, accompanies him and advises him to retire, while he's happy, and not look for being a hero and all of that. And so Luke Cage and Matt Murdock asked Steve Rogers to come to the political arena to sort of regain consciousness in society, basically put his name back out there, basically get into politics. And there was this event, right? This tragedy called H Day, that sort of gave him a bad reputation and a new, political guidelines led by the son of Tony Stark, who is now the sort of the new Tony, because Tony's now dead, and Janet Van Dyne, who's he's like an arrogant, young, cocky, super duper extra douchey version of Tony Stark. He's the kid, basically taking the potential of the Iron Man armor to different levels, used it as a weapon of repression. Basically, there's this new social and political movement that aims to clear the name of Red Skull, tries to make him look like he was actually a hero. He wasn't really working with Hitler. He was a secret agent on the inside trying to topple Hitler from the inside and shit. We all know that bullshit. And then you got Luke Cage basically kidnaps Steve Rogers and explains to him that the government is eliminating all the heroes of back in the day. Matt Murdock has been murdered. So he offers to basically re-inject him with the super soldier serum once again.
Oh, damn.
Old man juices him up, and you get old man juiced up Steve. Shit is popping off. He rolls up. Wait, you gotta see it. Oh shit. And the art, oh man, the art in this book is really like almost on some check it out. God damn it.
That's hard.
That's hard right there. That's old man. Wait, let me show you how he looked first though. It's not really a good example. Hold on. Well, this is young Tony. This is Tony Stark's son right there. See, super douchey. And then there's old Steve.
Blick.
We got an orange. We got a
heavy tan.
Montalbano tan, Ricardo Montalbano tan or some shit.
Yeah.
But then Steve gets juiced, and you see just like super jacked veins just popping out everywhere. And it goes super duper hard. But it's definitely a, what do you call it, like a post-apocalyptic era story. The story is very compelling. It's definitely not your typical comic book story, and that's why I kind of wanted to talk about it, because it's not just a superheroes running around doing superhero shit. It's almost like The Watchmen, right? It's more of a think piece, right? It's more of a and Chip Zdarsky did my favorite Daredevil run. He's got almost like a what's your boy that did Sin City? Frank Miller. He's got kind of that
Frank Miller.
style a little bit, a little bit of yeah, like a true crime. I don't know, just a dope way of spitting dialogue, and Zdarsky's use of the Marvel lore is subtle, but just like it's not like corny. He's not throwing in shit, but it's like you know where you're at. Like this is Marvel. You know what I'm saying? And but I don't really want to rob you guys of the quiet
Experience.
realizations and connections that pop up while you're reading it. But what I can say is that Zdarsky's sense of like timing and rhythm is unparalleled. It definitely gives you that vibe, that true crime vibe. And as we follow this old retired Steve Rogers, he sort of just gives him a realness and just makes him seem like him and shit. And like Stu, I've told you, like we've talked about, making you care about the characters, and that's they definitely do that. The panels, the art is definitely got dope, layouts, and it almost looks like a painting. It's really that kind of art style. So it's like a mature, vibe. It does, shows how much he's trying to engage with that environment, and mostly, seems to have left him behind, and but he's still hit with that wave of nostalgia, and it's all guilt and past glory days, and the Zdarsky definitely leaves Steve in the heavy silence, you know. So, but every character feels like a fully fleshed out person, right? Not just a two-dimensional, character on the page. So it's a very well made story. And when Steve sort of debates a younger guy who at first seems cruel and self-serving, uh, you want to be on Steve's side, but the young man's final words sort of leave you with that sort of realization that actually he's right. And he but Steve also isn't just an old man who's like refusing to accept the times have changed. He's trying really hard to be a good man in a world that feels more and more foreign as because remember he's already from the 40s, and this is way in the future in our future. So and he's got his friends who don't really want to move on from the glory days, and but they aren't just grumpy old men about it either. They're trying desperately to hold on to their morals and doing their best to stave off bitterness and fear, and basically at one point he gets Steve gets mad at like a TV show, and he's like, nobody cares about the truth anymore, it sort of as you read on, it becomes clear that Steve is wrong about that. People do still care, but they're just too overwhelmed with information to know what the fuck is true anymore. It's very much like our
So,
world, right? It's very parallel.
sounds. Yeah, I was getting ready to say sounds real familiar.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. And it's moments like that that I think we see that Chip Zdarsky's writing is more than just superhero comic stuff. He's writing about us. He's writing about reality. He's writing about the real um, world that we live in, basically.
Let me check that out.
Just looking at I wonder would supervillains survive into old age? Yeah, there's a lot of this is definitely not by any means some landmark game changing idea like old superheroes, old man Logan. Like this is dystopian futures. There's nothing new about Avengers Twilight. It's just if you like that kind of stuff, this is a really dope one. Basically, it's not. There's nothing groundbreaking about it. Like if you read Old Man Logan or any of the Old Man Quill, whatever. Uh, any of the or Watchmen. It's a lot. It really reminds me of Watchmen. That's the vibe I kept getting. But more like a DC or a Marvel version of Watchmen in a way. In a way,
Mm,
it's got its political aspects. It's got the old superheroes talking about old days when superheroing was different, and it's uh, definitely a lot of callbacks to Watchmen and shit.
right. I mean, that's ingenious writing, to be honest. If you ask me, because a lot of times we look for, like you said, stories that make us care about the characters, stuff that's different, things that we can kind of relate to. I think in the past years, Marvel's kind of gotten away from it a little bit. But then when you introduce people like Zdarsky, who come up with these dope ideas for stories for these characters and kind of mix things up a little bit and
Mhm.
switches it out, that's what makes it intriguing. That's what makes you keep turning the page. You're like, man, I want to see some more. I want to see some more. I want to know what's going to happen next.
Right,
Because Captain America is the symbol of America in the comics, and a lot of his ideas are things that he believes in, but that everybody else don't believe in. But then they have to make him see things both ways because Cap is one of Cap's flaws as a hero is he has on blinders at times, and he only sees things one way,
right,
and that kind of like clouds his judgment where he gets into this big fight or whatever with whoever where he had just sat down and been a little more diplomatic just a tiny bit, things wouldn't have got as out of hand as they would. But the good thing about when you read a Captain America comic is he'll always it'll always come back to hit him in the end, and then he'll realize his mistake, and then he'll try to fix it, or he'll just say, you know what, I was wrong, you win, or or I'll step off, or I'll step back, or I'll fall back. That's the good thing about Captain America's comics is that regardless of how strong he is, how fast he running, he does admit that he's still human and he makes mistakes.
right. Yeah, exactly. It gives you that realistic, that relatable, relatability that you won't get with a lot of superheroes, a lot of characters. So a lot of people, if Captain America is Captain America, he's like, he's kind of corny. Maybe he's a Boy Scout, but he's a character that a story like this works with. And so, if you're maybe you're hungry for a comic that's maybe not super childish or superhero-y, or maybe you're looking for like an indie type book but not an indie book. This is that, but again, it's the art. Like I said, you got to understand, it's hard to really kind of explain this artist Acuna, his art, because it's the painted like texture of it, the lighting, the colors, the acting of the characters. The when I say the lighting, I mean obviously there's no lights involved, but the way he paints it, that you darken some areas, lighten some area. I mean, the way he does it, it's very cinematic. In every panel, he's added to the story definitely with his details and stuff like that. That the story itself, the vibe it gives off. That's why I always say that the art in a comic is just as important as the writing. No less, no more, just as important, because this is it's a visual medium. It's not a book. It's a comic. So Steve Rogers, his world is like dull and gray, compared to the brightly colored of his younger, when they're showing his younger self. And then you've got the brave face that he puts on for everyone and seems to be one of a tempered rage, but his brow is forever bunched up into a knot, and his mouth is in a permanent scowl. And the sort of defensive wall that he puts up, occasionally we see comes through the cracks a little bit. And when we do, Steve limps along with a worn out gait, and like a subtle expression of, his just, the way he just sees shit now, and but I mean, it none of this is said. This is all coming across in the art. And so much of the world building happens through the colors. And when Steve walks down the street, he's surrounded by the fluorescent, futuristic, billboards, and Times Square type shit and all of that, and that sort of just hover around, almost like they're just sort of floating there. And he him and his homies sort of meet up in Central Park, and we get more of those new, natural colors, and the greens and browns and all of that. It's sort of with it's simple, but it really helps tell the story. And whenever they can, they try to find like oasis away from the luminescent, hell that seems to have become mundane to everyone else.
'Cause that's the only thing, I guess, with like you said, with Captain America. He's from the 40s, the 30s, the 40s. So it was less technological and less advanced, busy. It was just a humble time. So I guess that him going into those areas just calms him,
Yeah,
brings him peace.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I mean,
that,
when you break it down, it's a dope new comic. It's the next Kingdom Come, The Watchmen, Dark Knight Returns, but Marvel. And this is the first issue that it's going to be, a dope series that I think, is going to be talked about for many, 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 many years. And I think it's the start of a groundbreaking new move in Marvel comics, because Marvel hasn't really done this yet. The Old Man Logan stuff, the Old Man Quill stuff, the Old Man Hawkeye stuff. It's tongue in cheek. It's not. It's violent and gritty and raw, but it's not realistic. If that makes sense. It's like a cartoon version of dystopian future with all the violence and all that you would have, but this isn't like those. This is more, like I said, I can't stop saying it. Kingdom Come, Watchmen. Think those comics that are more, about real life in a way, but have superheroes in them. It's I always thought of Watchmen as like, what if superheroes were just in the real world?
Yeah.
So, but that's kind of what this is. It's Marvel's version of that. So it's definitely worth picking up. And issue 2 is coming. The covers are fucking sick. A lot of the Alex Ross looking vibe and shit like that. The second issue has a main cover by Alex Ross with Iron Man on the cover. It comes out Wednesday. It picks up right where number 1 leaves off. So guys, this is a brand new book. This is just starting out. So you're not missing. You haven't missed shit. Go get this book. If you want something like what I'm describing, like, don't, what I'm saying? But yeah, there's this underground rebel group led by the former Luke Cage. It's the Defenders from like the Netflix show, like those guys. Like, it's not that exact squad, but there's Captain America. He's got a fresh dose of super soldier serum. He's juiced the fuck up. And this Defenders crew that Luke Cage has created. And they're old heads, but they've got this renewed sense of like duty and purpose, and Cap is definitely wasting no time. And so basically, let me see, the thing says, in the future, the elderly Steve Rogers, formerly Captain America, is living in a quiet life with his wife, Rosa. Steve, stripped of his super soldier serum, is haunted by memories of Hero Day, a disastrous battle that resulted in the deaths of many heroes and innocent civilians. As a result of that fateful day, the original Avengers have been replaced by new heroes working in concert with the totalitarian government. Among his new breed of hero is James. Among this new breed of hero is James Stark, son of the original Iron Man and the Wasp. Steve was recruited by his old friend Luke Cage, who has formed an underground resistance called the Defenders. Together, they have recreated the super soldier serum. Steve agreed to retake the serum so that he can once again become a symbol of truth. Um, that pretty much sums up book one, and that's exactly how book two starts. Um,
Okay, so we really didn't get to the meat of the story. They just kind of like introducing everything, setting up the
yeah,
plot.
exactly, exactly. And it looks like here is a bunch of, yeah, check it out. Here goes the art, and then we'll bing. Make sure y'all can see it. Hold on. Wow, that's the cover right there. The what you call it?
Mm.
Yeah, it's got a young cover, right?
You mean Alex Ross? Yeah.
Yeah. No, no, I was looking at the blade and cap, but
Oh,
that's not the. That's not the. I was looking at that.
Looking Cap.
The
Yeah,
Alex
that's
Ross joint. Now that Alex Ross, that's that's hot right there. I
dope.
can see he got that on his website, and I can get the painting.
So you see these dudes looking like Iron Man. Those are cops. That's what the cops look like in this future. They're all decked out with Stark tech.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're rolling up on this guy that's laying here in his homeless little box and shit, and they're like, uh, da, 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 two priors for public urination and aggressive panhandling. He's like, just leave me alone. I can't go back. I can't. He said, yeah, well, he said, tough shit. Nobody wants you out here, so best put you where no one sees. And then looks like somebody grabs them and bashes their heads together, and it's Captain America.
I was getting ready to say that's a classic Captain
And
America movie.
yeah, real classic right there. And he's like helping the guy up. It's all going to be okay now, he says. Avengers were on the scene rescuing people trapped by fire. We'll bring updates on the region, and that ain't that ain't Cap. Oh, here we go again. It ain't. Original retired and let it go. The original retired, let it go, Rhonda. He didn't. I'm telling you, I've been hearing things. Yeah, Auntie breaking it down. She said, Cap's back, stop the cops from roughing up old Brian, save some old girl who was being harassed down at the docks. Oh, yeah, why he ain't on the news reporting it? Ain't no news anymore, man. So, it's definitely just like our world, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no news. It's just whatever the media wants to tell you.
Yeah.
Supposed to hear.
Yeah. And here's the underground little lair. Cap and his and the
You,
defense.
Cap trap.
you see with a lot of these comics now, they're getting to that point to where it's mirroring our time. Look at Duke. Look at Duke. He's
Yeah,
like the same like Cap, like a man out of time in a sense, to where what he thought was supposed to stand tall ain't standing tall. There's other people, influencing justice, equality, and American way in life.
right.
Saying it's
Yeah,
crazy.
Duke. No, yeah, Duke number one was good.
You read
That
it?
was powerful. Yeah, I read it. It was powerful, bro. It was really really good, man. I like the spin they put on it with the Transformers and everything. Like that was I was blown away by Duke number one, man. I can't wait. Number two comes out Wednesday, so I can't wait, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. If you can get a number two, let me know, bro. Try to see a way to get me a number two.
cool.
Mm, I'm there first day. Matter of fact, I can actually go tomorrow. He put the comics out tomorrow, so I might go tomorrow just get them and then go back and pick them up Wednesday. They put them in my folder. You know, just pick them up Wednesday
Yeah.
because they'll put them all out tomorrow.
I like the Duke and the Cobra Commander. The art style's kind of, you know, it's cool.
Cell shaded, but I like it.
Yeah,
It's cell shaded, but I like it.
But the G.I. Joe art style,
Right,
that shit. This is the shit I like. This shit looks like some real. Hold on, let me blow this shit up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
They put their time into that.
I thought that was a dope. I thought that was a dope intro. That G.I. Joe #1. That was dope, bro.
yeah.
I thought
This is the
Pinto
second.
and all that.
This is the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Look at
Yeah, too. Yep.
Yeah, too. Yeah, I like the spin they put on the whole thing, where they had Cobra and all that. I like that, man.
Yeah, they wilding out. He's back campaigning for new recruits.
Mm-hmm.
Follow him against the government that betrayed them.
This shit look like Metal Jacket.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that's
It
back
do.
in the day with Storm Shadows, Snake Eyes, and Stalker.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Nam.
Yeah.
Platoon moment right there at the top. But yeah, I mean, this is not your Sunbow G.I. Joe right here.
Not at all.
It definitely ain't the one I grew up with. I can tell you that.
It is definitely dope shit, and it's not, and they redid the first issue with like this art style. Yeah, it's dope. It's dope. And then yeah, the Duke and the Cobra Commander is crazy. This right here, my favorite. Oh,
Spider-Man 1. Okay.
yeah. My favorite author in comics is Jonathan Hickman, and this is right here is definitely uh, up to par. And yeah, the art's love it.
Now, is that the retelling of the Ultimates or a whole?
Whole new shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is some whole new shit. This right here. Well, here I'll read you what it says. 20 years ago, the Maker prevented a radioactive spider from biting a young Peter Parker. He likewise prevented the creation of any other superheroes and formed the Secret Council to rule the world from the shadows. When Tony Stark learned the dark history of his universe, he sought to undo it, prompting the Maker's Council to attack Manhattan, killing thousands. Framed Stark for it. Peter Parker has lived this life unaware of the Maker's Council or the truth behind the spider, but that is about to change. So basically, what they're saying is Peter Parker has lived his whole life. He grew up. He never got bit by the spider because this guy, the Maker, went back and made that so. Changed it, made it where he never got bit. And so this is Peter Parker, fully grown man, never got bit by the spider yet. He gets bit. I mean, that's what the whole comic is about him getting bit again. But the way they do it is so cool. Again, man, Jonathan Hickman, if you like sci-fi, if you like shit like Minority Report and Blade Runner and Philip K. Dick stories and shit, like that's the type of sci-fi, like really smart, intelligent, deep thinking type sci-fi.
I want to ask you guys a question. Do you think these comic companies are at the point where they're trying to age out our heroes? Because it looks like they're trying to age them out.
Well, I mean, I don't think they ever will do that. That's kind of what, that's what they say why the heroes never age and shit like that, because, they say Franklin Richards made it that way or whatever. But, really, they just don't want to, they, hopefully they'll learn from the MCU that you can't do that. You can't phase out the favorites, the guys that started it all, and just have new shit. No one's buying that. Like you kind of gotta you gotta stick with what made you lovable.
But
Um,
just like in the same avenue with our toys, with our action figures, like we're gonna be the last generation, so to speak. I mean, there's pockets of the younger guys that's collecting now, but
yeah,
I don't think they never partake in the feeling of having the originals.
yeah, exactly.
So with us being the last generation that felt
Yeah,
that whole culture, because it is a culture.
right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel that's kind of like with the comics. Look at the comic heroes when our fathers were young. I mean, some of them are still here, but they're not as active or written about too much on a high level. Look at what's his name? Flash Gordon.
No,
I
I remember when Deadpool was invented and Spawn and Venom and Carnage. Like I remember all these characters when they were invented and shit. Like yeah, I feel you. You have a really good point, and I didn't think about that, but yeah, because the way like you said, those old characters, Flash Gordon, and all that, or like even if you go back to the original characters from DC way back in the day and shit like that, like yeah, they go through stages, but you still have Batman, you still have Superman, you still have Spider-Man. They're just a little bit different. They might look a little different, they might, act different and all of that. And yeah, I do think that comics are evolving with the times. I know they are because I read current comics. And so yeah, those are the old man ones, but when you read shit like, X-Men and the, all the ones with, young characters and stuff, it is painfully obvious that this is Gen X,
mm,
Gen Z. I mean, sorry.
yeah.
Like it is obvious that they are writing for kids of today, and I kind of don't get it. This makes a lot of sense to me because the majority of comic book readers are not kids.
Yeah.
Maybe in your 20s, that's about as young as it gets, and most of it's 40s and up. It just is.
That's
And
true.
so
Yeah, that's true.
but hey, I mean, that, people market shit for kids, which, that's where they feel the money's at. But when you're marketing something that kids don't give a fuck about to kids and it doesn't sell good, then you think it's not worth it. And then you just stop making it. Well, we Hasbro has learned with G.I. Joe Classified that that's not the fucking case.
Mm.
Make it for
Mm.
these older guys that are into this shit, and you'll make bank, bro. The amount, oh my god, they're making fucking millions of dollars off classified, dog. It's not even funny, and it's all about the nostalgia. Classified came out, they were doing the Blackout video game,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and people were like, nah, we want that. Where's the OG shit? Why doesn't he look like how I remember him and shit like that? And they didn't think people wanted that. They thought people wanted something new and fresh. Nah, bro, go,
You
because I,
always what I always say, new don't mean better. It's just different from old.
but I think, yeah, and I think Raw Talk said some shit too. What was it? Man, what did he say? I don't know. If I think of it, I'll let you know. But
Shit, I don't even know what you. I forget.
it,
but
nah,
nah, but you're right, Reno, because when classifieds first came out, I remember me and you was talking about Major Blood, Roadblock, and all of them. We were like, they cool looking, but
yeah,
I remember you was like, yo, I wish they would just bring them out, because you was like, they look a little too space age,
yeah,
a little too like futuristic, like
right,
you was like, man, I wish they would just do them like they did them.
yeah,
And then they started, and then everybody was saying that, and then next thing you know, they were coming out with them looking more more kind of like they originally. That's when everybody started getting on them harder. Like they was
Yeah,
getting on them real hard.
that's when it blew up.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because Roadblock was one of the biggest complaints people had. People was like, Roadblock ain't ever looked like this. Like, what is up with his? Like he had the space boots on. All that. People was like,
I
nah,
mean,
man.
yeah, Gung Ho, the original Gung Ho. Like I was like, yeah, yeah, Gung Ho was one of my favorite characters, and that original figure, I was like, yeah, it's like, but it don't feel like Gung Ho. And then when they put
It didn't.
the retro one, that was one of my favorite figures for a while, bro. Like, cause Gung Ho is just there's I don't have any particular reason why I like Gung Ho. It's just something about when I was a little kid, that figure, I just it maybe it was drawn to me or whatever, but like you have a nostalgia thing for it. It's weird. There's no rhyme or reason why we love this shit the way we do. It's just nostalgia. It's I guess
Right.
gives you that vibe. It makes you, the snow serpent for some reason is one of the most nostalgic figures out of all the classified figures, and I really barely cared about snow serpent when I was a little kid, but that figure for some reason stuck in my brain. And when I look at a lot of people's top 10 classified lists, that's always like in their top three.
The snow serpent? Oh, the
Now,
vehicle.
Snow
Because
Serpent, the
yeah,
character,
because you know why, Reno? Because in the
a lot
cartoon
of stuff,
they
but
used it a lot,
yeah, yeah.
and it was just a dope. It was a dope vehicle, man. I remember when Snow Serpent came out. I watched the
Oh,
commercial the other day on YouTube.
You're,
character.
you're talking about the snow serpent is the character, the action figure. You're
Yeah,
talking what was it?
talking about this guy.
Yeah, he's snow
Oh,
serpent.
Snow Serpent? Yeah, yeah, he was dope too. Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
one
yeah, he
you're
was
talking
really
about
dope. Yeah,
the polar bear
the polar,
The Snowcat.
or the snow cat.
the Snowcat. Yeah, the Snowcat was a vehicle they used a lot that I like. And there was another one. What was the one when they
Snowboard.
like laid down in that joint? It was like they like
Oh
laid
yeah,
down in it and drove it.
Snowcat. Where they lay down in the front.
Yeah,
Yeah,
called
yeah.
That was the Snowcat.
no, oh no, I got
Huh?
you.
They didn't
Mm-mm.
lay down in the
Mm-mm.
Snowcat.
Nah, the Snowcat they kind of sat at. And didn't the Snowcat come with a figure or no?
Man, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure they
yeah.
said
Oh,
no,
it came
Snowcat.
with Mike.
Yeah, but they laid down forward in it. They laid
There
down.
was a yeah, there was a joint they laid down forward, and I
Laid
can't remember
on
what
his
it
You
stomach.
was.
talking about the motorcycle one or just the big vehicle?
The big white
It's a
van.
big vehicle.
Yeah, and then the
Yeah.
Talking about, I know
fan
what
lifted up and they laid down flat, like on their
it's
stomach.
called, the Havoc.
The
Yeah,
Havoc,
some
yes.
The
yeah,
Havoc.
Yeah, the Havoc.
Though.
The Havoc was
I
yeah, the
didn't know
Havoc
which
was
one
dope.
this was until I got my book. You talking
there's,
about that?
there's the Snowcat and there's the Havoc. I think Havoc is the one where they lay down. Snowcat is the one where they sit up. Maybe
Yeah.
that's the Havoc. Yeah, that's the one where they lay down.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the one they lay down. Yeah, they always use that one in the
yeah.
cartoon.
Yeah,
I don't,
and
Snow
this is
Serpent. I
okay.
don't.
Snowcat right
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
Snowcat. There's a Snowcat. Yeah, those two vehicles are iconic, man, for GI Joe. But the Snow Serpent figure, I don't know, man. Like I liked him, but I never was really on him like that, man. Like I said, my favorite character was Shipwreck, man. You give me
Mm.
Shipwreck, I'm good all day, baby.
Yeah, shipwreck is dope. Hell
yeah. Shipwreck is Jack Nicholson, man. It's Jack Nicholson.
yeah. yeah, right. The voice.
But
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
Snowjob was
John
another
Johnson.
Snowjob was another hard character too. A lot of people like Snowjob because I
yeah.
don't know, maybe it's because
Wild
the all
Bill.
white with the skis. Yeah, he was just different.
Yeah, I like Wild Bill. All of them.
Wild Bill was another one. Yeah,
Yeah, it was something though about Snowjob having them skis made him a dope character to
skis.
have.
Yeah, bro. And there was a
And
lot of movies back then. People were skiing. And, you be like, yo,
also
man,
made his skis white,
yeah,
like how they were back in the day. The skis used to be white. I think I'm gonna
Well,
paint
you
them.
know they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. They
They'll
gotta,
do a retro. They'll do a retro.
yeah, because they gotta use the mold over in some capacity.
Yeah.
They'll repaint them. They'll do a few little things. Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
They give you the white skis. They give you the white backpack, smaller backpack, just for the skis that'll hook on in the back. Yep. They're gonna do it. You know,
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's no job. Dope.
One of the dopest.
We used to always pose them.
it would have been
We used to
smarter
always
of them
pose
if
them
they
with the
would have
pen.
did the modern version, then a retro version, sell it like that. It would have
Man,
been, or
no, I don't. I only
crazy.
want. I
Two,
only want retro versions. That's all I want.
it'd
I
be
want,
elevated 2 packs.
yeah, 2 packs.
Have one retro, one modern.
That'd be crazy. That'd
That
be. That's too good to be true, right there.
that'd be verse like a verses. All right, would you? You can get with this, or you can get with that. I do the whole promotion, yo, the whole marketing. You can get with this, or you can get with that. That'd be crazy. And then you could trade with your friends. You could be like, okay, I like the retro, you like the modern. Okay, cool. Let's trade.
Hell yeah.
You're gonna
Yeah,
buy the 2 pack. Let me get the modern, and you get the retro version, or whatever.
yeah.
That'd be sick.
That'd
See,
be
they
sick.
don't think
That'd be
like that.
super sick.
Only
Go
fans
ahead.
of it think like that. You know what I mean?
Because they want everybody to buy one. They don't want people to go half. Because they
Yeah.
figure that's half the money. If I can get everybody to buy one, that's twice as many sold.
Mhm. True. True indeed.
When does the Dragonfly come out?
Next summer.
Yeah, it's supposed to be this. Well,
Well,
this summer.
yeah, this summer. Yeah.
This summer it's supposed to drop.
Okay. Dragonfly is hard, man. That
Vamp
joint
is
is
about to
hard.
come out, though. The Vamp is about to come out here in a minute, like in the next week or two.
Yeah, in 2 weeks, a week and
Did you
a
order it? Did you pre-order it, Reno, or no?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
half. He's like, oh yeah.
yeah.
He said, yeah, he said that quick. He was like, yeah.
Oh, I seen some of the pictures of the Vamp in hand. It is phenomenal. I am very glad I got it. It's very dope, very dope. Um, I missed out on the what you call it, the his tank, and I really wasn't as heavy into GI Joe Classified when the his tank came out. When they
Mhm.
first started selling it, because it was like 3 years ago, I think, or 2.5
Yeah,
years.
Yeah.
yeah.
And like I was into it, but I was like, yeah, I mean, because I was still, doing Marvel Legends, you know, I was doing Star Wars Black Series, I was doing DC Multiverse, and I had just got into Mafex, and Mafex figures are expensive as fuck, and
Who you telling?
they're so dope that I was like, bro, I'm just like fuck all these other lines, I'm just gonna buy Mafex, and I couldn't do it, bro. I couldn't do it. They're too expensive, and the other lines are too good for your money, bro. The character, it's them Japanese figures, man. It's just unfortunate that we have to pay that super high price because they're only sold in Japan. Because if they were sold over here, they wouldn't cost that much. And so it's sad because the craftsmanship is fucking peak. But Classified is definitely the best figure line out there right now.
Yeah.
Definitely,
I agree. Yeah, I
definitely.
agree.
Star Wars Black Series is going down the shit tube. Marvel Legends
Hit or
is
miss. Hit or
miss.
miss.
DC
Hit
is
or
just
miss most days. Yeah.
ass. Multiverse is just shit lately. Um, yeah, there's nothing but Classified right now for me. That's the only thing I'm buying because they're putting out a lot of shit, and I need all of it, so I can't fuck with them. Yeah, this is my childhood, dog. When you're talking about Big Boa, Quick Kick, this next set that's coming out,
Yeah, man.
need all those. And the stuff that's down the pipe, bro. Like I when I think of it, bro, there's like I'm the only figures they're gonna put out that I'm not gonna need are ones that they make up or repaints. Like the Crimson Twins in
Crimson
red.
Guards and Twins. Yeah.
Like
Nah, I
it's
Nah.
don't need them in red. Yeah, I don't
not
need them in red. Maybe
like
the Baroness in red I could do, but the
I do
Crimson
want
Twins in red.
I do. I want that Baroness, but I don't need it, right? I needed the original, the black one, the one that looks the Baroness in the black suit, the one that looks like the 80s joint. Those are the ones I need.
Hmm.
So I made a decision, like the way I'm gonna, justify it in my mind and be able to afford these these characters is I'm only gonna buy the ones that look like the toys that I had as a kid. So if this figure doesn't look like if it's a character that I don't know, cool. That's one I don't have to buy. That's the way I'm looking at it. If it's a paint of a character I've got, cool. That's another one I don't have to buy. The only one that, yeah, I've missed a couple. Like Mindbender, I really regret not being able to get. But I was
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I wanted Mindbender bad, bro.
They're doing a retro. They're gonna do another Mindbender with the Cobra symbols on his cape, like retro, like how he really looked. So I'm cool. I'm gonna wait for that one. Cobra Commander.
Yeah.
They're gonna do another Cobra Commander. It looks like the original, so can't wait for that. But yeah, I mean, there's a pipeline of characters that we know from 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. All those figures I'm gonna need. Once we get to 1990 and on, I don't need those. So they do any of those 90s figures and shit, cool. Like it's just one I ain't gotta buy. But
except for old boy with the bombs, the old boy that's crazy. What's his name?
to my metalhead,
Yeah, metal.
hardball. What's his not hardball? Hardball.
It's metalhead. It's
Oh,
metalhead.
okay. So Metalhead, I'm gonna go ahead and probably get because I do vaguely remember Metalhead, like from the Deke. I think.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
remember him as I'm like, I vaguely remember, but I know who he is, but I
He's
vaguely
crazy.
remember him.
Yeah, he was just want to blow everything up.
yeah. The reason I'm gonna get him is because I have seen him in a cartoon. He's connected mildly to the Dreadnoks because he's got their band name painted on his chest or whatever, somewhere on his body. And then also he's one of the Iron Grenadiers, which the Iron Grenadiers I do remember as a kid. I love the fucking Iron Grenadier. I can't wait till they come out with the Iron Grenadier Trooper. That's this year. Can't wait. One of my favorite joints, and Iron Grenadier Destro. That's gonna come out with the gold head and the cape and shit and the bit. Yeah, I'm gonna need all those.
That's just gonna be heavy.
Yeah, bro. Who's another one I really want them to make that they haven't mentioned yet? Hit and Run. I don't know why. I really want a Hit and Run figure. They really need to do that with the duffel bag, the grappling hook, the rope. That's gonna be a dope one. And he's got the face paint. I think he's gonna look phenomenal. Another one that I'm waiting on, Dial Tone. I think he's gonna look great. I don't care about Dial Tone, but the nostalgia, and then when I was looking at his design the other day. He's got a dope design with the gloves, like the way his suit is, the way he looks. He's a dope figure. He's got the beret and shit, the black beret. So yeah, Dial Tone is one that's gonna look real dope.
Sick.
Mainframe.
Damn, mainframe.
Yeah.
I want sci-fi. I want that sci-fi to be deluxe though.
Yeah.
Deluxe with all crazy technology, man.
Yeah. Sci-fi, they haven't mentioned him, and it's funny because Sci-fi was actually going to be in that second wave, because he's in Blackout, but they didn't want to go with that futuristic no more.
They better do it now, because they already passed that when they created the damn what's his name, right? The range when they did the range viper and they did the bat.
Yeah,
past that threshold for futuristic.
Yeah.
They'll do.
Heavy duty was another one I like. I wish they would do heavy duty. And Ripcord. Ripcord was somebody I like the Ripcord too. Ripcord would do.
Oh yeah, Ripcord. They're already making Ripcord, I believe.
I think
we need
Ripcord.
We need Ripcord in our life.
Night Force Ripcord comes with the Dragonfly, right? It's crazy.
No. Regular Ripcord comes. No, separate. He's separate. He's done separate. It's Crazy Legs, and who else? Crazy Legs and. Do I got it wrong? Crazy Legs or somebody else?
I forgot about Crazy Legs.
Night Force Ripcord. Yeah, Night Force Ripcord. Y'all right.
I forgot about Crazy Legs. Now
I
you
was
saying
thinking.
it?
I was thinking about Airborne. My fault.
Airborne. Yeah,
Oh, no.
Airborne. They
Well,
had air. We had it was. Remember they had Airborne and Airtight.
Yeah, Airtight is the other one. He's the environmental dude.
yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, the
everybody will
in
be
the
coming.
hazmat joint.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He had the yeah. Don't forget what's your name too? Airtight was out. Airtight. Altitude. Altitude was another one, but he was the
Mm,
recon scout. He's like the recon scout.
altitude. Mm. Yeah, they're gonna give us what we want, as long as they can, as long as they stay in business.
Yeah, they're gonna stay in business for a while. There's so much. There's so many Joes, so many characters that they can do that are gonna keep them in business for so long, dog. I
But they
mean,
gotta stop making that dumb shit though. You seen that Marvel stuff that they made? Hold on, I got it in my phone. I'll take a picture of it.
look at this, dog. That's Ripcord right there. $2,500.
Damn.
Oh, inbox.
He's
Oh,
graded. He's
yeah, mint
graded.
Then
condition. Yeah,
somebody slapped him. Somebody
Oh yeah,
slapped him.
yeah. He's slapped and graded. Look at the price tag. $2.66 from
yeah,
Toys.
that's crazy.
I mean, that package is fucking flawless. Damn it.
Yeah,
That shit looks like the day I fucking seen it as a kid.
yeah,
Mm,
man. Same here.
mm.
Ah,
Bruh,
that's
that is dope,
Hold on,
man.
show y'all that.
Who's on the back of there, Reno? You got, the laser trooper,
so.
mine
Let's.
detector.
You seen these figures?
So, huh?
You seen these figures? These Marvel Legend figures?
What?
No, not Marvel Legend. They're the little Avengers stuff. This crap.
Oh yeah, fuck
If
all
they
that.
stop
Yeah, I
making
saw
stuff
those.
like
Yeah.
this, because it's taken away from what they could do,
Yeah,
with Marvel
making
Legends
all the kid
stuff.
shit. Yeah, this stupid ass kid toys, man. I don't know why
Shit
they're making it.
that kids don't buy.
Kids don't fucking care about that shit, dude. Kids don't care about these characters. They don't know about them. I mean, it's sad. It is what it is. But you know, you got to stick to the MCU for the kids.
You know?
Yeah.
That's all they know. Poor bastards. But look at that. So far they've got Rock and Roll. There he is. They've got Grunt. There he is. They got Tripwire. There he is. They got Spirit. They got OG Snake Eyes. They made. There's Ripcord, but they made Night Force Ripcord.
Mhm.
There's Stalker. There's Mutton Junkyard. Doc is coming out this year. Uh, Blowtorch they haven't mentioned yet.
Yeah.
Laser, I believe, is coming next. They've got Rakondo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rakondo. They got Rakondo's coming out in this next batch.
Yeah.
Retro Rakondo. Then we've already got Gung Ho. We've already got Wetsuit
Mhm.
or Torpedo. I mean, sorry.
Torpedo.
Yep, they're doing a retro Scarlet. She's about to come out. I don't know
Need that.
who it is. We don't have him yet.
I forgot his name. His name is
Zap.
man,
The Zap.
I think it is.
The Zap. Yep. Bazooka Soldier Zap.
Mm. And yeah, we got Duke coming out, retro Duke coming out. There's your boy Snow Job. We got Storm Shadows out. We got retro Firefly. We got Zartan. We got Major Blood. Like this whole pack, we got them there. In classified. Right there's Crazy Legs. He's coming out Night
Oh,
Force.
that's Airborne.
Oh, that's everyone. So he's coming out
Yeah.
this next batch here. He's already on pre-order. We got there's
Roadblock.
the OG Roadblock. We already got him. We already got Destro. We got Baroness. We got Scrap Iron. We got Cobra. We got the Trooper. We got the Officer. Yo, this whole pack is in classified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking
Yeah.
crazy, right?
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to get the OG figures for all, like every classified I got. I want to get the O-ring. and I want to pose them together, like display them together, like
Yeah.
there's like I have Snow Job standing there with little O-ring Snow Job. Everybody got their gear on. That's the display I eventually want to have.
Nice.
Wow, the
Heavy
Viper.
prices. Heavy prices.
650 only for the Viper 8.5. I would rather have the Viper than fucking what was this one? Ripcord. But he's an older, he's 83. Yeah, he's an older. This is 86. Vipers were later. Vipers came out 86. Like 86, the 86 wave was the wave where I was going to the store picking them out. The 85 wave was the era of I got all these toys from my older cousins. The 84 wave, I wasn't around for. My older cousins had some of those toys. They mostly had the 85 wave, the 84 a little bit, some of the OG ones. And I got 86 Viper era, 86. That's when I was going to the store and picking them out when I started getting really into it. But before that, like I said, man, I think one of the first things that set it off, my family got together and they bought me the aircraft carrier. That's the flag. I think because my people in the 80s they were hustlers and they would hustle, and when big money was made they would splurge, and I'm sure that they were probably in the store, they saw the biggest toy that was available and they just bought it. They probably had no idea what it was. They bought it probably because it was the biggest, most expensive toy in the store, because they were probably balling at the moment because it was the 80s and it was that era. Money could be made out of the air.
Oh, tell me about it.
But yeah, that was what got me into it, man. I was hooked.
Decade of opulence.
Yeah, of excellence. Yeah. Ooh. Forgot about Blizzard. Damn, I forgot about Blizzard.
Yeah, Blizzard is hard boiled.
Yo, he got the man. I can't wait for them to do Blizzard. All right, this is the 88 pack. Here we got Alley Viper already. Scoop will probably end up getting. Countdown, I forgot about. Recoil. I wonder if they'll ever do that Snake Eyes. That would be pretty dope. I would fuck. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would fuck with that hard. Rock and Roll. The new Rock and Roll, yo, they should do that one.
Yeah.
That Rock and Roll right there, that version. Remember when that one? Oh man, I'm telling you, I was deep. I was heavy into it. Naugahyde at this time. He's about to come out. Heat Viper, Stalker in the boat, fucking Backblast, Deep Six, Frag Viper, Night Viper, Annihilator. Whoa, Road Pig, Voltar. There's Iron Grenadier. He's coming out here in a minute. There's Hit and Run, my boy right there. Hit and Run. Shockwave. Already got him on the shelf. Fucking
That's the shadow everybody's waiting for.
That's my favorite figure of all. That was my favorite figure of all the figures. And then Budo, the samurai guy, them was my guys. There's a Muskrat right there.
Yeah.
Hardball, fucking.
Hardball.
Yeah. Damn, can't really read that one. Oh, that's Charboil. Yep. Astro Viper, Techno Viper. There's Blizzard. Yeah, Budo. I cannot wait for them to do Budo, dog. Budo and version 2 Storm Shadow are definitely going to be highlights, and Road Pig. Oh man.
Yeah, they're going to do Ninja Force.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be sick. They already started on Ninja Force, actually. If you think about it.
You only want the $17 for them.
Goro already. They got Nunchuck already. They got the Storm Shadow, the Ninja Force Storm Shadow, but
that's the original one.
They call him the Arctic Storm Shadow. But
Arctic Storm Shadow. Yeah, I didn't like him.
But this is Ninja Force.
Yeah, I wasn't really into Ninja Force. I don't think that shit came in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was out of it by then. I was done with G.I. Joe in 90. I didn't realize that, but I think 1990 had some figures that that I was still trickling. I was still a little bit messing with it, but I think it was mid 90 or something around that time when I stopped fucking with it. It had to be because I remember those figures and I remember them characters, and I was not fucking with them at that time. Damn, there's the flag. Six.
Six bands. Six bands.
Look at that box.
Yeah. Even with the toe up box.
And they selling the box. They selling the box, just a box for like $100.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yo, look at the kids playing down there at the bottom. That's how big it was, y'all. Look at that.
I know.
You sit next to that motherfucker.
That could have been your bed you slept on.
Word.
Yeah.
That should be alongside of your bed and shit. Yeah. Came with one guy. I was like, came with one guy. So all that shit, and you gave me
no deckhands, and nothing.
No sailors, nothing. Just one admiral. I felt a little bit cheated by that, but yeah, there she blows.
It's crazy.
That is crazy. Memories. Got the yeah, that would be dope, man. But honestly, I'd never buy that. I would never pay thousands of dollars for that. But it's cool to think about.
You wouldn't jump off the bridge, $6,000, bang. Let's get it.
If I had $6,000 to spend, nah.
If I had it where $6,000, I don't think about $6,000. I don't have to worry about $6,000. Then yeah, sure. Yeah. Which, if I'm in the hundreds of millionaires or whatever, tens of millions of dollars, might maybe.
It wouldn't make a difference then. Huh?
Shit, if I had $10 million, I walk right up into Hasbro. Look, you gonna make this shit over again. Yeah. I don't want no questions. I don't want no problems.
I had the hydrofoil.
Hell yeah, that was one of my favorite joints. Yeah, I love the hydrofoil. I loved any boats they made for some reason.
Yeah, always dope. Yeah, the boats were always dope.
Yeah, I had my hydrofoil right up there.
Yeah. Yeah, you got all these toys now.
Yeah. Except for the flag and the base, the bigger vehicles like the Defiant, the Terradrome.
Right. Yeah.
That's the original 12.
Yeah. Well, it's even more. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah.
Okay. I have all of them now.
Yeah, that's Grunt Tracker.
That's Breaker.
Yeah, Breaker. Not Tracker.
Shadow Zap.
Yeah, Zap right there. Then it's Trooper, Officer, Trooper, Stalker.
That's what's his name? Shit.
He's got the mortar.
Yeah. What the fuck is his name? God damn it. So many.
The mortar guy.
I forget his name too.
I'm the dummy. Hold on, because I got the motherfuckers here.
I know you got them.
Short Fuse.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Soldier.
And then there's Rock and Roll, and Laser or Flash. I don't know which one that is.
Flash. And then there's another one, but he comes with the Hal, and his name is Grand Slam.
Yep.
2 different colors. He comes with the same thing that Flash got, the uniform.
Yep.
A bit darker, and he comes with a male in gray and black and silver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shoot.
Yeah. The carrying case and everything, man. Damn.
Yeah. I got 2 carrying cases. I got 1.5 set of the originals. I'm trying to do the straight arms and then the swivel arms because the swivel arms we did in '83, so I can have both versions of everybody of the
Right.
first 12.
Huh.
I get that. I'm really
Grunt,
happy.
Grunt, Breaker, and Stalker are the same body with different paint.
Paint apps, yep.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
you got Zap and Short Fuse are the same body with different paint apps.
Paint. Yep. There was a lot of that back then.
Yeah, Rock and Roll, Scarlet, and Cobra Commander were originals, and Snake Eyes. And actually, the Officer and the Trooper were actually originals too. They were actually not the same as each other.
Well, Stalker and
No.
Snake Eyes is the same.
Well, Snake Eyes is also Breaker and Grunt too. Breaker, Grunt, Snake Eyes, and Stalker are the same body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just do a different head. So yeah.
So what Classify's doing is not original.
No, that's why I like it.
Yeah.
If it does it, people are like, "Oh, they're reusing." I fucking love that. That shit is super nostalgic to me. They always do.
Reusing. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, that's how GI Joe was. And you have this box thing, don't you?
Yep. I got 2 of them, 2 boxes.
Yeah. The carrying case. Yeah.
They're pretty dope, man.
Yeah, they got little name places and shit.
Let me show you.
Wow, look at that. Commando, Ranger, Infantry, Trooper, Counterintelligence. So she's like, well.
Here we go, right here.
That's dope, bro. I just even got a spot for the cards and everything. Combat, command file. Damn.
It says Rock and Roll was a surfer in Malibu prior to enlistment. Was also a weightlifter and played bass guitar in local bands. Is here with all NATO and Warsaw packed light heavy machine guns. Graduated advanced infantry training, top of class, specialized education, covert ops school. Rock and Roll is cunning but naive, forceful but shy, possesses a strong sense of loyalty to his teammates, and is in sense concerned about their well-being, a man of honor and pity who can be counted on to hold the line. Yeah, they kind of gave his personality to Footloose later.
Here's my straight up Grand Slam.
Yeah, all right.
I have my zapping pieces over here. I'm getting ready to tighten them up and put them in his rightful place and put Grand Slam elsewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, there. I'll show you guys. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I stored these in here, which I shouldn't have done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Zap is down there, so I have all the original guys. So straight arms.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, those weren't even all straight arms in that eBay thing we were just looking at. Most
Oh
of those,
no. Oh,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, man. This is the grail right here for me. These guys, that and my Wild Bill Dragonfly. That's the grail.
Oh yeah.
And then I got Starduster, and today my brother he blessed me with what you call it? What is it? Steel Brigade. He bought for me,
Oh
and that's a very rare figure to get.
yeah. You had to mail away for that shit.
Yeah, so he got that for me. So I'm like, yo, truly blessed in that regard. He looked out.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah, big time.
Yeah, man. These things are expensive.
Tell me about it.
So,
Yeah. Now, who would have known it would have been so highly sought after now?
yeah, right. Like all this stuff.
These kids, yeah.
Hold on,
Never
y'all.
guessed it.
Asshole on eBay. Are we gonna wrap it up, y'all, and call it a night? We just up here chopping it up. But before we go, check this out. People on eBay never cease to amaze me. The links they'll go through to rip people off. It's fucking beautiful. Uh, this look at this little custom, like they took an original Storm Shadow and did a different color paste colorway on him.
Mm-hmm.
And they trying to say that
No,
this is
no. That is a rare.
that's a real guy.
Yeah, he's worth. Yeah, he's worth that. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
That's the real Storm Shadow. They called him a Viper. They didn't call him like Storm Shadow. It's called the. I got it
Yeah,
right.
Cobra Ninja
It
Viper.
says
Yeah,
it says
Ninja
mail
Viper.
away figure. Yeah,
Yep.
mail away figure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a Ninja Viper. It's official tissue.
All right, because the even the pegs on the bottom look super big on the bottom of their feet.
Oh yeah, because back then they did the different peg stands because
What?
they remember they had peg stands for
Well, you mean in the
Battle
90s?
and the Eco Warriors.
Because in the 80s, the holes were not that big.
Yeah, it wasn't that big in the 80s, but they
And that,
changed it up.
but you know, the reason I thought this was fake is because there's 100 of these. There's 100 of these different color storm shadows. They're just people make them all the time.
Well, you gotta look. The Black Major is the one he remakes the colors and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this looked like to me. That's what I thought this was.
Oh, the Black Major. See, look. I'll show you right now. There you go, right there.
Oh,
Yeah, that's him.
yeah.
That is him, yeah.
Ninja Viper. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the other one I gotta get now. I gotta get this guy. That Ninja Viper. I get him. I'll be alright.
Yeah. See, this is way
He'll
after.
set you back. He'll set you back about $190.
Yeah. Yeah.
He'll set you back a car payment.
Yeah, a little something. Half the car payment. A
Yeah,
quarter
cable
of the
bill.
car
It set you back a cable bill. It set you
Yeah,
back a
there you
cable
go. There you go, right there.
bill.
Straight up.
Yeah.
I might have to start getting me a fire stick again.
Yeah, still watch the Fire Stick.
Yeah. Gotta
Watch
get
Fire
that
Stick for a
hook up.
couple
That
months
hook
and
up.
get that. Yeah,
That
get that ninja.
program.
All right, y'all. We're gonna wrap it up, man. It's been a great show, yes, sir. Thank you for Slay, yes, sir. We'll see you Saturday, sir.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, y'all. Have a good week. Uh-oh. Yeah, man. I got to go, y'all. All right, y'all. You outside? All right, man. Here I come. All right, y'all. I gotta bounce. But yeah, man. Be easy, and I will catch y'all next Saturday. Peace.
Peace.
Peace. Peace.